Hey guys, it's Iz, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact Lore video. See, a couple days ago, HoYoverse released a brand new video with some juicy lore. They released a video about the Fatui, and we get to see what all of the remaining Fatui Harbingers look like. So, let's take a look at that video.
The sages think themselves to be all-knowing, but we alone are wise to the virtue in those acts of folly. In this war, not even a single pawn may be spared. Because on this chessboard, checkmate is not where the game ends.
We are gathered here today to remember our dear comrade. In honor of her sacrifice, all work should halt for half a day as the nation mourns her passing.
Merely half a day? People say the Northland Bank's true currencies are blood and tears. But Mayor, even speaking as a banker, that sounds a little unconscionable.
Rosaline died in a foreign land. But you heartless businessmen and dignitaries always with a convenient excuse to remain in the comfort of your homeland. You couldn't hope to understand. So why don't you keep your mouths shut? We don't want to make the children cry.
Hey, come on now. Even I don't think this is the right time or place for a fight.
Utterly risible.
Though her methods tarnished her honor, Loafalta's sacrifice is a great pity. Her loss shall not hinder our progress. But Dottore, what of Scaramouche and the Gnosis from Inazuma?
Conventional wisdom holds that divine knowledge cannot be rationally comprehended. After conquering the divine gaze, he will make his next move.
It's time to end tonight's foolish theatrics. Right now, you have no captive audience. Let every worthy sacrifice be carved in ice. With this nation, endure for all time. In the name of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, we will seize authority from the gods. Absolute peace. Such is the gift from the Tsaritsa. Such is Her Majesty's benevolence. Now you rest in this coffin, encased in layer upon layer of ice. But Rosaline, I promise you, your final resting place will be the entirety of the old world.
I must say, you're looking very young today, Doctor.
You know very well that I do not take that as a compliment.
So, where's the segment in the prime of his life, then?
He's busy with a little experiment in blasphemy.
Colin, time to head out on patrol.
Okay, Master Tainari! What was that?
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. I'm glad they finally addressed the shape of the Gnosis and actually used them in the chessboard for one. But why don't we go over the names of each of the Fatui Harbingers that are here? Since we have more context and can see their appearance, I believe we can pinpoint each one at this point. The first one we see is the head of the Fatui Harbingers and is the first of the Fatui Harbingers, Piero, or the Jester. And the one singing in the background is Columbina, or Damselette. Then the old geezer that we see is Pulcinella, the Rooster, Pantalona, or Regrator, the wealthiest of all of the Harbingers, then Arlecchino, the Knave, Of course, we know Tartaglia, codenamed Child, then Sandrone, aka Marionette, Il Capitano, the Captain, then Il Dottore, the Doctor, who we have seen before in the manga. And looks like we're seeing some more people from the manga finally come into the game, since Collei was just teased as well at the end of the video. As we can see from the video, Scaramouche is not there, and seems to sort of have run away or is having issues with the Electronosis, which makes me wonder if there are consequences that we don't know about. After all, he needs to conquer the Divine Gates. Now let's go over the end of the video with Collei having a vision of Dottore's experiment of blasphemy. If you didn't know, Dottore can split himself into clones from different points of his life, and these are called segments. Which is why in the manga, he looks a lot younger and acts different as well. In this said experiment of blasphemy, he has set fire to a tree, which could mean that he's burning down the work of the Dendro Archon, or it could have something to do with the ley lines of Teyvat as well. There are two more things to note here, and one of them is the eyes of Pierro. I said eyes, but really it's eye considering that he has a mask, but if you look closely, he seems to have a star-shaped pupil, just like the eyes of Dainsleif and Kaya. And it's curious as to why all these three characters wear something to cover their right eye or the right side of their face. Maybe Pierro is actually someone from Conria. And lastly, it's these details. When you see the knight move on the chessboard, it has cryoparticles around it and it moves by itself, while Pierro across the board uses his hands. It's most likely because he's playing against the Tsaritsa herself. At this very scene, where the Fatui are gathered around the coffin, it is at the point of view of the Tsaritsa, after which she covers Signora's tomb in ice. It's symbolic, considering that the cryo-delusion that was given to Signora was a gift to help ease her pain as the Crimson Witch. Oh, one small thing. I just noticed this while recording. The younger brother of Child, Tusser, talked about a Mr. Cyclops when he visited Liyue, who is his friend. He might have been talking about Marionette's puppet all this time. But that's all that I have for you guys. A little bit of life update. I got COVID earlier this year, but I'm now all better. I've been busy working on upgrading my setup, and if you haven't noticed, I've got myself a new mic, and just recently built myself a desktop PC, so I don't have to record and edit on my phone and laptop anymore. But thank you so much to everyone that has been sticking around and coming to my streams and watching my videos. It means a lot to me. But that's it for my life updates. Hopefully you guys can catch my next videos and my upcoming videos. If you want to, subscribe and comment down below what you think about it. I'll be back very soon with new and different content for this channel. There's going to be a little bit of changes, but don't worry, I'll still keep the Genshin lore around. But that's it for me. Ad Astra, Abyss Osk.